put salt in the middle, so I'm not going to touch that, but we need to go dark around the edge. So you can either build up with the ultramarine, or I've got an indigo, which is quite a nice colour, or any dark blue. I say these Russian ones, they do call them a little bit different names. We've got azure, which is a dark blue. We've got, what's this one? It's like indigo. So I'm going to take that on my brush. It's still quite wet, my blue, and I'm just going to, again, you may want to use a finer brush. I'm just going to put a line almost around the edge of the beetle. But I might change to a smaller brush here. Because it gets thinner as it comes to the base of the beetle. I've got a little bit where the two sides meet, a little dark bit. Do the same on the other side. Putting your hand in what you've just painted, which can be sometimes a bit tricky. If you find it's dried a little bit too much and you've got more of a stripe than a softer line, just clean your brush, dry it off, and just break up that edge a little bit. And I also want some darkness on the top here. We can use also colour pencils, particularly the watercolour ones or Inktense ones are nice when you want something that's really dark. Just add that into there a bit. And I wanted to look at the head section just here. Number 8, and really this colour is sort of like a burnt sienna.
I'll let that dry before I go into the green.
No, want it nice and wet, go in with your green so that it merges. So we're all working wet into wet at the moment. Why?
I've not done the base orange.
That's alright.
Then do I just do the black bits?
Right, so
Or
we want to, you can put the black bits on the head. Don't worry about the stripes on the body just yet.
right.
So it's going to be black with some, I would add some blue into it as well. So put the black on, let it bleed in, and then add a bit of blue. Yeah, so it will be a picture. You see?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you're poised there with your paintbrush, Catherine. See? So I'm going to just paint over the head, the lower head section. Try not to touch anything that you've just painted that might be a bit wet.
And that's not, you've not made that wet first.
No, because it's only quite small, so. So that's my burnt sienna, and then take a darker brown, so burnt umber, brown, sepia, any of those. And just while it's wet, just dab some into the left hand side to darken that down a bit. And that's really the sort of colour that we need for the legs as well. Perhaps a yellow ochre. Well, that's where I can wash and dry my brush, and I can just lift off that highlight there. We need some of this blue and yellow mixture, so I'll put down a bit of yellow just in the centre there. Don't want it to go into my brown or it will bleed in. I'll pick up one of my dark blues and just put that onto there. Use a smaller brush actually, that's a bit big. This is a number 4 brush I'm using there. I'm going to use yellow ochre first of all to put in some colour onto the legs. So I'm just going to use yellow ochre initially. Sometimes you're not sure whether the colour that comes out on your photocopy is the original, or we're getting a bit of contamination with the colours and we're getting some stripes that aren't really there. I can use the brush shape to get these antennae.
What colour are the legs? Sienna?
Which
The legs.
the legs, yellow ochre I'm using. If you haven't got yellow ochre, raw sienna is a similar colour. Trying not to touch what I've painted. The legs are very similar in all the beetles, aren't they? Some are darker, but and some are a bit more orangey. So just choose your colour, but just follow the same idea. Go in with my burnt sienna then and just darken some bits of the legs down. Yeah, and this is something we could do with a watercolour pencil. I don't know what sort of beetle this is. Probably not British, is it? I'm going to do some experimenting then.
On the beetle,
Not on the beetle, we didn't want you to do some experimenting
something else.
on, well, experiments first of all, and then see which ones are going to work nicely on a beetle. So we're looking at it, just doing it with watercolour,
Yeah.
and we'll put a lustre over the top of this one, or any of them, and then we will do some experiments with the metallics and so on, and then hopefully do another beetle. Because we're doing it quite
Were
traditional.
these beetles actually done this way? Were they painted with wet paint, or were they just was it spray?
These are actual ones,
Right.
I think. Yeah, they're
It's
actual.
almost like the effects of getting with buying the green and the yellow, the two colours. It's like it's been sprayed.
It's great. I mean, they are quite amazing, aren't they? Beautiful little things. Right, so I'm going to let that dry now, because there's a time where fiddle and you end up getting things not quite as you want.
Right, you sorry, I think